You may think you know the story of Rapunzel, but think again, because Disney's Tangled is a totally new take on the classic fairy tale. This heroine is feisty. Now, our Sammy Lucas caught up with the star voices Mandy Moore and Zachary Levi, and directors Byron Howard and Nathan Greno, and got the lowdown on making Tangled.
Mandy, Zach, welcome to Event TV and congratulations on an awesome Disney movie.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mandy, how did it feel when you first found out you were going to be the next Disney princess? What was your initial reaction?
My initial reaction was jumping up and down and screaming like a crazy person, which I've never really done before.
Unprincess-like behaviour.
I'm very unprincess-like, but I figured I had to get it out.
And you both get to sing.
Yes.
Zach, I know you hadn't sung on camera before, on film before. So did you coach him at all, Mandy? Were there any singing lessons?
No. Zach did not need anybody's help. He has a fabulous, fantastic voice. My jaw was on the ground the first time I heard him sing.
I was reading as well that the directors really searched high and low for the exact voice for Flynn Rider. They wanted him to be the hottest hunk Disney's ever seen. So that's, you know,
and they got stuck with me.
Big to live up to.
I didn't find out any of these little bits of information until we started doing press for the film. And thank God, because then the pressure of like, so we want him to sound like the hunkiest man to ever be in a Disney movie. It's like, well, what does that mean? What am I supposed to do with that?
Now you two obviously have great chemistry, we're seeing it here, but you didn't actually voice.
We didn't work together at all.
How do you create that chemistry for your characters just using your voices then?
It would be a testament to the directors.
The directors, yeah.
Because when you're not working with someone, there's no one else in the room to sort of play off of. You have to use your imagination and then also rely on the directors because they work with everybody. So they can sort of go, well, this is the way that Zach sort of approached it, or this is the way we really see the scene. So that obviously sets the tone.
Yeah.
What an amazing challenge for you both as actors, though, to create these characters in this world that, you know, really doesn't exist. A scale of 1 to 10, how difficult was it?
I don't know. I mean, it's difficult, but it's not difficult. It's fun. It's more fun, challenging than it is difficult, I guess.
Yeah, you certainly didn't show up to work stressed out, like, how am I going to get through the day?
Yeah.
It was exciting.
You
because
didn't? I was so freaking out now.
No, it was exciting because you had the freedom of knowing, like, you weren't wasting people's time. There wasn't cameras and lights set up and makeup and getting ready. You just sort of could show up and try it a bunch of different ways.
How did it feel when you both saw your characters for the first time? Were they drawn before you were cast?
Yes.
Okay, and then what did you think when you first saw the character with your voice coming out of it?
That I had ruined the movie somehow.
Oh, no.
Well, I was just like, oh my gosh, I heard it was a scene between Flynn and Rapunzel, and so I heard Zach's voice and I was like, oh my gosh, he's perfect. Like, he's the quintessential charming leading man, and then I was like, oh gosh, I sound shrill and nasally and young and weird, and I was
beautiful.
Really
Doesn't she?
sweet.
Yes.
Perfect.
But I was so worried, like, oh my gosh, they've made a terrible mistake and I've ruined the movie.
How would you respond to that, Zach?
I felt the exact same way because I think people, it's that answering machine syndrome. You hear your voice and go, oh my God, that's what I sound like. Why didn't anybody tell me?
Yeah.
And I felt the same. I felt like I sounded nasally and stupid, and I felt like she sounded perfect, like pitch perfect. Well, it's true.
Thank you, Zach.
And I have this mild, weird crush on Rapunzel. Whatever, I won't get into it. The freckles with the nose and the big almond eyes. I don't know. It's just a weird. It's a really cute little,
Yeah. And she's a tough girl.
Yeah, she's tough.
She takes care of herself.
She wields frying pans. Like
I think she's a good role model for young women because she's not the damsel in distress in the tower waiting to be rescued by the handsome prince. She takes matters into her own hands, and it turns out even better than expected.
Well, I loved it, and I know kids will love it, adults will love it. Thank you guys for putting together such a wonderful movie.
Thanks.
Nathan and Byron, directors of Tangled, welcome to Event TV and congratulations. The movie is a huge success. Did you feel extra pressure knowing you were taking the reins on Disney's 50th animated movie?
Yes. It was definitely. Actually, we didn't know, Nathan and I didn't know that we had the 50th animated film from Disney Animation until about 6 months into the process.
Really?
Then, someone did the math and they said, well, that was 49, so you guys are 50. And we're, okay, great, more pressure.
How long has it been in development? Because I read casting notes dating back 2005, but then I've also heard on the grapevine people have been talking about making this movie since the 1940s.
it's been around a long time, I think, because it's a hard story to crack, because it's basically this girl, a very passive girl, waiting around in a tower to be rescued, right? And it all sort of takes place in a room, and that doesn't make for very compelling movie watching. So we realized early on what we have to do is get her out of this tower.
Obviously, the chemistry between your leads is crucial, but as directors, how do you create chemistry with drawings?
It's all about finding what feels true for the characters, and a big part of that does happen when you get the voices, when you get people like Mandy and Zach and they're recording. Then you go, oh, okay, that's how Rapunzel would say this, or that's how Flynn would act. And even the animators, you know, as they're working on the characters, they'll figure out, it's like, okay, this is how Flynn walks.
The animation seems very, very complicated. Was Rapunzel's hair the most complicated process with the animation?
We realized early on to pull this off, to make Rapunzel this amazing kind of role model of a character, we didn't want her to just drag that hair behind her. We thought, well, it'd be cool if she like tied people up with it, and she like use it as a bullwhip, and she throws it up into the rafters, and she's like a monkey climbing around. So we came up with all this great stuff, and then we brought in the crew that was going to figure this stuff out, and we like, look at this film. And they went pale, like they were like, well, we can't do that, you know, and they're really up for the challenge, honestly, because they're so passionate. That's why they're at Disney, because they want to create these great movies, and they figured it out.
What we wanted to try to do with this film is try to get the best of what 2D films have to offer, with that great flow and the draftsmanship and the expressiveness of 2D animation, and bring it into this amazing 3D world. And so the CG animation on the humans is, I think it's the best that's ever been done.
When did you decide to make it 3D? At what stage of the process?
At this point, we've all been to 3D films, at least one, where you've walked out of the theater and you go, well, why did I just pay the extra money for that? Like, that didn't enhance anything. It was just, 3D can feel very gimmicky at times, and we didn't want that.
It doesn't at all in this.
Well, thank you. We worked really hard at it not being that. You know, we wanted it to just enhance the storytelling. So every shot that we did, every set that we built, every story idea that we came up with, we said, what is that going to look like in 3D? We really, everybody we've talked to, if they've seen it in 2D, we say, go back and see it again in 3D. And they did, and people that have done that, they're like, that was totally worth it.
Well, congratulations. It is a fantastic movie. I know it's going to be a huge hit here, Nathan Byron. Thank you for your time. And Tangled in Australian cinemas, January 6th.